Well, hello there. Welcome to another fortnight where we have another twofold episode. I'm your host today again, and it is Phil, and with me is Timothy. Timothy.
As they call me in work by Americans, Timotej. No, they don't.
Timotej.
No, they don't. They don't even try. They just go, Timo? Can I say Timo?
And on my right is the wonderful Jake, who is so close to retirement.
So close, guys. I'm only 28. I'm going to retire.
Well, I meant for the podcast, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. 2 more episodes of retirement.
Tim, it's called Pachareta. Have you ever had it?
No, I never had that. Link it up.
For context, if I cut this
just-
out in the podcast, these guys are talking about certain alcoholic beverages. That
No, this
took
one's
8
alcoholic
minutes to
free.
Google search.
Put
'cause I
it on
couldn't
the end.
remember
We'll put it
names.
on the end. We'll put it at
We'll
the
put
end.
it on the end. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
sorry.
put it on the end.
Do you know, dear audience, that Phil puts stuff on the end for every single episode? I don't know if you know.
Just about.
Just about. Long time ago in the old podcast, used to be grander. There used to be sagas.
And also, it was like you had to wait at least 5 minutes of silence.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Phil got lazy. He just puts them immediately.
Well, that's because I was thinking the time stamp would be different. So I always wanted, you guys wanted it to be shorter. So I don't want to extremely.
True.
I don't want to add 5 minutes of silence.
No, I never had.
Like it's longer.
What do you call it? Pasa.
Pachareta.
What is this? What are you sending me on?
It's just like a
Discord here?
local soda that you can't get anywhere else except there. So I thought maybe
No.
Pasareta.
I'm familiar with Kokta, but this is new.
No, this is just like local. It's like
I'll try
like a pomegranate soda, something like that.
I like local
Nice.
sodas. Did you
I like
know
the
that the
Fritz soda
Sumerians
in Germany
had
yeah.
32 different kinds of beers?
I mean, weren't they one of the first ones to make?
Well,
them?
yeah. I mean, they were the first, and that was what was it, like 6,000 years ago. And that they were the hipsters of craft beer. They call them dark.
Maybe their neighbors, the people in the Valley of Gwangi made their own beer.
The dinosaurs and the tiny horses drank it.
Yeah, the dinosaurs drank from the river of beer and got drunk and turned purple.
Because of all the grapes.
Yeah, the grapes in the beer.
Yeah, the grapes. In the beer.
Whoops.
No.
Oh man, I meant
That's for the people in the mountains, in the Iran mountains,
people of the mountains.
and the Turkish mountains. They drink the wine, the purple T-Rexes.
the purple T-Rexes. Anyway, speaking of purple T-Rexes, that is our topic today. First of all, we want to say Johnny hit us up with a song. And what a song that was. What a song that was. And welcome
like
to
your-
Twofold. Welcome to Twofold, where Jacob really Jacob's like the senior that
the
doesn't care about
senioritis.
the last, you know what I mean? Where you don't care
Yeah.
anymore because it's the last days and you're just ready to leave.
But it's-
So
it's gonna be-
you're just breaking all the rules.
Have you guys watched
I have
Lethal
not caring
Weapons?
No,
You
we
know,
haven't.
What? You haven't
Mel
watched
Gibson,
Lethal
just
The
Weapon?
first one.
Danny Glover.
Oh, okay.
I've
Yeah,
not
the
seen
first
any
one.
of them.
He's like retiring, and he's like celebrating. This is that episode, right?
Totally.
You're like, I don't care. There's no rules. I don't have to follow any instructions.
You guys
do
are
whatever
like
I want.
still in school.
Yeah.
But this is
leaving.
that episode. The next episode is going to be, when he's like, I'm too old for this shit. When trouble comes and you have to, it's going to be the episode. It's going to be a 7-hour episode. We're going to get a fight about something important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Clash of the
before
Titans.
you
did
leave.
that. You never let me did this, and so on.
Yes, that's going to
Yeah.
be the last episode. That's going to be
But then- but
troublesome.
what
and then
about
we'll-
the-
And then the final
Yeah, the
episode
final
will be like,
one is Jacob's thesis.
Yeah, this is like the explosion. The big explosion happens. We're like lighting up cigars. We're full of
Yeah.
like
Ooh, I have two
Hollywood
cigars.
scratches and like blood, and we're like, we did it.
Yeah. That's how
Yeah.
it feels. It reminds me of when I was at a field trip in Austria. We went to like the Austrian highlands and stuff like that. And I was missing my parents so much because I was like 8. But then again, all the other kids in my dorm that were sleeping soundly didn't mind because they weren't such babies. But I was like crying all the time. But then the night before we were leaving, I was funny. I was like, yeah, I was the cool kid. And then I remember one kid was like, Philip's so funny today. And I was like, yeah. That's how it feels because I was finally leaving.
you didn't have to cry anymore. You're all out of tears.
Yeah, I'm all out of tears to cry.
All right.
So,
Gwangi.
how are you guys doing? Okay, fine. Let's talk about Gwangi then. Let's talk about.
I don't know.
What, Jacob? What is it?
Nothing. I'm breathing. I'm just breathing.
You're breathing like Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm breathing like Tim.
Fine. Tim, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm watching the Sumerian documentary, and I forgot about recording the podcast. It's good stuff.
Amazing.
It's on YouTube. I'll link it up.
Fantastic.
It's like a YouTuber he's making them, and it's actually better than some of the garbage that TV has been putting out for the last 20 years. You know, like Discovery Channel or History Channel.
Those stupid documentaries. Yeah.
And it's like it's just a stinger.
What's the name of the
It's
documentary? Like, Sumer, the Sumerian legend.
Oh, I don't have it. Damn it! It's on my other. Wait, you guys talk. I'll find it.
Okay.
I'm talking.
So Jacob. What was I gonna say? I was watching documentaries too, in fact, on YouTube. It wasn't really documentary. There's this guy, he's a YouTuber. His name is...
Number 8, The Sumerians, Fall of the First Cities. And the
it's a long title. I'm going to forget.
And it's
Number 8,
2.5 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And the channel is Fall of Civilization. I'm only halfway through, but I'm liking so far. The voice is a little bit dramatic, but he's really sticking to facts. And anytime he goes, into sort of like... pondering or sort of connecting the dots, he does nice of a disclaimer. This is my
my
sort of storytelling, my dark connection. So pretty good.
That's good.
Maybe check out his other videos. Maybe number 1, maybe number 2. I'm on 8.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, that's why Phil was mentioning YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, that's why I was mentioning YouTube because there's this guy called Billiam. I don't know. He reviewed all the like Scooby-Doo shows and stuff like that, and he also talked about what I was watching right now, which is when Animal Planet got insane, when they started doing fake like mermaid documentaries. And
wait. Animal Planet did the History Channel as well?
Yeah, I was wondering. Also Animal Planet.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about that.
Phil, did you know that Animal Planet even changed their logo? I think the elephant's even gone.
Yeah, it looks stupid. I don't like it.
It's a mermaid. Let me see.
Yeah, seriously. And he was just talking about how there's like the cryptozoology, shows where it's like people out in the woods with flashlights, like, is that Bigfoot?
No.
Is that Bigfoot?
I hate those shows. Okay, by the way, update, there is still the elephant on the logo. Just so everyone.
It's back. But it's half a mermaid. Good. It's
actually blue, so there's a connection with mermaids.
Yeah, that's so true. Billiam is the channel. You can go check it out there. Tim, what's yours?
The channel. I said the channel. Wait, let me.
I'll do it again.
It's a Fall of Civilization, I think. Fall of Civilization. So I'm looking it up. TV got garbage. I have not watched TV, and I think about 15 years. I actually didn't. I don't even own like a way to watch TV. I've seen TV on other people's, and I've obviously seen TV shows, right? Like some famous ones that made a way to like Netflix and stuff. It's called Fall of Civilization. So.
Okay.
So far, so good.
Right. What about you, Jake?
You guys watch pawn shops? Sorry.
No, I don't watch. Don't watch
a couple
Pawn Stars.
episodes. You mean the one where people go into the pawn experts and they try to sell something? We watched like one episode where this guy was trying to sell this like 1950s Telecaster. And he came in and he's like, I think he wanted like 500,000 or something. Mm-hmm. And in the end, the guy's like, I'll give you 20,000. Okay, it'll pay for one semester of college. And he leaves. And I was like, dude.
America.
Why? Why did you do that? Just save it, put it on your wall or something.
I know.
Do you know what's the only times I watch TV is either like visiting back home and somebody had TV on, so I would catch something, or like a hotel or a Airbnb we got. And I think we watched a lot of garbage when we were in Croatia by the seaside. And,
nice.
And I said Pawn Stars or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I didn't mean that. I meant it's called Storage Wars.
Oh yes, I know the people who have like who go and like raid the storage units. Like there's junk.
Yes, they like
jeez. Oh yeah,
and they sell the
I've
crap.
heard of this.
Yeah, they bid like there's like a group of them, and they're all like celebrities in that own TV show.
Yeah.
And there's and they can't see what's inside the storage
Oh, and
locker.
they kind of
They all
see what the best.
No. I think they open it up, but they can't go and look into
they
it.
can
They
just
have
look
to
at
look
it through
from
the
outside.
little
Yes,
wall, kind of weird fence thing door.
and then it's like
door.
a bidding war who
Yeah.
pays much, and then they go check what's in there. It's just amazing how
With it, crazy editing and dun, 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 dun.
yes.
Yeah, I
We're
wanted
gonna have
to
to take
say-
this out. No, don't take this out. Dun, 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 dun.
when we moved
And the
here-
classic,
Yeah, go
you know
ahead.
the one that stinger, the little
Stinger,
sort of like-
yeah.
yes.
Ugh.
I wanted to say when we moved here, when we were buying our internet, they forced us to take like TV with the internet, like the digital TV.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to spare you guys of the stupid stories.
Why did
of
they
the
force
TV.
you?
It's bad.
Why did they force you?
Because they're like, monopoly. And so you can't get, like, I wanted to get
can't?
fiber internet. No, they didn't force you. That you could opt out, but it's just like, I don't know, like €1 less, for just the internet, right? So I was like, okay, just put the TV in, to the package. It's fine, for an extra
Scary.
euro.
Okay.
My goodness. So the internet, totally fine, right? The TV, that's like maximum security on that little box, little TV
Oh yeah,
box.
the
Just
max
like-
security
just
box.
super security. And what ended up happening was that we have the TV box downstairs and the router on the next floor, right? And I thought, well, great, this is, you plug it in, you have, maybe the TV box is wireless or whatever. Maybe we can, plug it into my mesh, my Wi-Fi mesh, whatever. I had those, what are they called? Those power links before. I was trying to plug it in. No. And then the technician comes and he's like, yeah, this has to be directly plugged into our modem that we provide. And he brought an Ethernet cable, like the length of, how long it takes to get to the moon. And he connects it to and he connects it directly down the stairs. Just this, blaring yellow cable. And he's like, there you go. He's like, it works. And he presses a button, problem solved. He's like, I did it for you. I solved your problem.
High security
And I'm like,
for the highest quality
like,
programs.
how is this even possible? And then the guy is like, yeah, he's like, if you want to use your like mesh system and plug it in there, it's like you have to call and like ask for them to like put it into bridge mode, and they might give it to you, they might not, but I think they will. And it's like, dude, what is this? And then
It's the ancient times. It's the Sumerians had cable.
and then
Sumerians had cable.
when
the
we
ancient
watch
Sumerian
TV,
ways.
sometimes the couple of times we watched it, I just couldn't believe. I forgot what television is like. We watched this this show called Botched on E, which is about plastic surgery.
Oh no.
And my goodness, that's like, 22-minute, right, slot. And it's like 4 minutes of actual content.
Yep.
It's like one Imgur link picture is basically made into an episode.
But I couldn't believe it because I was interested. I wanted to see about these surgeries, right? We wanted to see what's happening. But it's just
Yeah,
like,
good luck.
Christy came in and then Christy said this. I hate you. Make my boobs bigger. And they said no. And then, the classic thing.
I have a phone call
they're
every
like 4
month.
minutes.
Yeah, I have a phone call every month of people, like there are provider trying to get me the TV, and they're like, it's for free, and I'm like, I don't want it, but it's like it's 40 channels for free, and I'm like, I don't want it. They're just like there, like confused, but we'll give it to you. And I was like, no, I don't want it. This is a principle. I refuse to have TV.
Yeah.
Get it away from me.
And
they
just
just
like
that
good call.
way.
I think the last time they just hung up on me. They were like, what is wrong with this man? And
So
I'm
do you know
like,
what's cool here? I don't know how it is in
What is wrong with
Slovakia,
this man?
but for instance, I was regularly getting calls from my phone's, like my cell phone's parent company, right? So I'm on their like subsidiary, cheaper company. And I kept getting calls from their parent company, cannibalizing their own like sales, like trying to upsell me into their,
trying to get him to the...
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And they're calling me, they're like, oh, we see you on
They did that
this.
to me too,
And they're
they
like,
succeeded.
why don't you get, to T-Com, you'll just pay monthly, like 300% more, and it'll be great for you and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I know what I have. Thank you. Bye-bye. And they would call me like once a month. And I would think it's like an emergency call or something because, you don't know the number. So I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, maybe it's something to do with, I don't know, whatever my situation is, maybe it's important.
Yeah.
I got super fed up with them. And I would just like, the classic, you say, no, thank you. And you hang up on them because they'll keep talking.
Yeah.
But then I found out that here you can sign up. There's this like regulatory body, right, in the government that has to do with telecommunication. And you can basically you can send in a request to put you on a like, don't call me list.
Okay.
And I did that. And ever since then, beautiful. No one's calling me ever. So
It
something to
repels
consider.
them.
You should have just like asked them. Do you, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal?
Yeah, just do that.
And they'll just hung up immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. This same thing happened to me, and they succeeded because I was a stupid moron. But then I reverted back. So.
Oh no! Yeah.
But I learned my lesson. It was a hero's journey. It was exactly the same
Hang
steps.
up immediately.
Next time they did that, I was like, no.
You just have to
And
be
I was done.
super firm. You just say no, thank you, and if they keep talking, then unfortunately, you just have to hang up on them. I mean, I know
That's
the
what I
poor
did.
soul. I know that's literally their job. They have to make these cold calls. My goodness.
Yeah. I think I got my phone. Sorry, the last thing, Phil. I promised, and then we can get to purple dinosaurs. But I just want to say, speaking of, I think my phone number somehow got into those databases because I had last couple of months I had I actually had a person trying to evangelize to me on a phone, calling me.
They got your number somewhere.
Yeah, I had commercials, and this was the first new. I didn't
I'm telling you, Tim, you need to look into that government no call list. It's real, probably there too.
Yeah, I have to get in there.
It was literally a form. I did it online, an email, put my number and my name, and I just sent it, and they said okay.
Yeah, I used to be one of those people. I used to sell bamboo
Until you took an arrow to the knee.
Oh man,
I used to sell bamboo shoes.
I want to hear
shoes.
Tim's work stories. Remember last time we had the awesome
I love the
Italian
work
man.
stories.
I want to hear.
Yeah. There's a barrel. I was just I was talking to you guys about that, and I forgot about most of that stuff. And I was just sitting after the podcast. I was it just came flooding in. It's there is so much stuff there. So one day,
maybe before I leave, I'll tell you about my awesome American English school boss. Before I leave,
Oh, we got to do that. We got to do that.
You have to.
Stories.
I think enough time has passed and no legal obligations.
No.
Not whatsoever.
But
So you can full story.
Yeah. We have
be
to set some time for that.
Okay, go on.
That it?
Purple
Are we done?
T-Rex. Yeah.
We're done.
Purple
with
T-Rex?
with our
Okay,
phone
super.
stories.
All right, that was a fascinating trip through the sadness of phone networking and TV. But here's a cinematic masterpiece, and it's called The Valley of Gwangi. And I'm so glad that I got to share this with you. Well, the reason why I brought this up was because, first of all, we're doing Ray Harryhausen, right? His, some of his productions and some of the things that he animated and designed, which is a center point in these films. But Valley of Gwangi was one of those films that I didn't hear about until recently. And I'll have you know that the way I heard about Valley of Gwangi was through a podcast.
Okay.
And that podcast happened to be who's that guy who was on Tested who did the makeup?
Can't believe we're getting
remember
back
The
to not
guy on
remembering.
Tested who did the makeup.
You remember Frankie?
I can't remember the name of the two
Frankie
people
Polito
who made up
is right.
Mythbusters.
Yeah,
so I
Frankie
can't even get to
Polito.
test it.
He's
And Jamie.
Adam, Jamie. Wait, and there was also Will Smith. Remember Will Smith?
That's right. What was his
true
friend's
man.
name? Will Smith.
Norm Chen, who we almost we almost bumped into at the at the
What is
podcast.
happening
museum.
today? What is
This
happening?
podcast. Remember that thing then that happened?
Remember that
The
movie
guy
we
that
watched
plays
and then stuff happened in it?
The
and it
Valley
was
of
great?
something.
Yeah. There was this thing, this lizard thing. It's got a tail. Extinct.
Well, no,
It's purple.
remember we had a
Barney.
visit at the Royal Terrell Museum. Remember that?
Tyrell, isn't it?
Is it Tyrrell or Tyrell?
I don't
the
know,
Royal
Philip. You tell
Terrell
me.
Museum.
You're bringing
It's a museum that's famous for its paleontological artifacts that it has, and it's a huge museum full of dinosaurs and dinosaur skeletons. and people actually-
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, in Alberta, Canada, and people actually
It was a good
do
museum.
research there. Paleontologists do, and one of the co-hosts of Tested was there the day after we were there at the same museum. And so that brings me back to Tested, which brings me back to Frankie Polito, who was a makeup artist who worked on a lot of films, in the film industry recently. And if he's a makeup artist, he's done a lot of these big special effects films. And he was interviewing on his podcast which I do not remember the name of because I haven't listened to it in a long time.
Don't worry.
It's okay. And he was interviewing Shannon Shea, who is another really, really big makeup artist and special effects man who has not done work for everything.
Me too.
That you
I thought
know.
it was a woman, Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh no, he's a guy. He's a guy named Shannon Shea, and
They call him Shan.
He's done every like
Shandinsky?
just name a movie, and he's done it in like in the 80s and 90s. And
What did he do specifically?
Sin City, Predator, Jurassic Park.
No. I mean,
Death
like,
Proof, Lost in Space.
Lost in Space.
Makeup. Like he did makeup effects, and he did creature effects supervising.
Phil,
for
can I just really
films.
quick say, there's actually a really cool video you should watch from Frank Ippolito where he talks about the different kinds of fake blood that they use.
Oh, that's
for
right. I
film
remember that a long
productions.
time ago.
It's actually amazing.
I actually saw that.
Oh, you don't need
Yeah,
any of
he-
that. You just need food coloring. That's just the best. But
No, watch his video. You
no, I'm
learn.
just joking. I'm being.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious. I was like,
Because we did food coloring, and those things wouldn't get off
Nope.
our faces for a long time.
No, nor a
Terrible.
carpet
When we were kids.
that we marked
Nothing.
Yeah.
with blood.
So Shannon Shea
Somebody bought a
worked at
place
Stan
and-
Winston.
and someone
And-
thinking somebody died in that
oh,
basement.
yeah, that's right.
Oh, that was fun.
Just
that
all
was
that
fun.
pink.
Yeah, we had a lot of pink, a lot of blood stains on the basement. It's wonderful because of our films that we made there. So hopefully the people who
Yeah.
saw that house didn't think
Well, the house is
anything else
gone
about
now,
it.
so.
They're
Yeah,
being
they changed
haunted
it.
by a purple ghost with a belt around
So
his
Shannon Shea
neck.
worked at Stan Winston, and he was being interviewed
Fetish.
by these two people on that podcast, and he mentioned a movie called Valley of Gwangi, and he said it's one of his favorite movies, and he said like if you want to see something that's
In a valley.
that that everyone
features
that's in a
Gwangi.
valley that features Gwangi, you want to check that out, and I'm like, okay, and he said Ray Harryhausen because every special effects artist that is
So tell me,
entering
Phil,
retirement.
Since you're the host of the
Yeah.
Ray Harryhausen marathon, what was Ray Harryhausen's last picture that he worked on?
Who is Ray Harryhausen? You haven't.
Yeah,
I don't think we
you
even.
didn't introduce him at all.
I don't know what it looks
I did
like.
last time we talked about it,
well,
but you
do a
guys wanted to talk
refresher.
about.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray Harryhausen. He's like
No
one of
more
the most
personal.
famous.
No. I don't want like his acolytes.
Textbook definition.
Ray
Yeah,
Harry.
yeah.
Okay, so
Who is
the
he-
man?
What does he mean
What is he
to
like?
you?
What is he?
Old Ray Harryhausen
Yeah.
was a very calm and polite man who's very humble, and he began his career at age 13, where he actually watched King Kong in the cinema as a little child in 1933. Went to the cinema and he watched it, and he was amazed at how vivid these special effects were. How did they make that giant monkey? Well,
Giant monkey.
he started to create his own models. He started creating,
I say
he started getting
monkeys.
interested in dinosaurs. He was like full of passion for making monsters, making creatures. And eventually, because back in those days, special effects wasn't a thing, it wasn't like a huge thing. And all the people who were working in special effects, particularly Willis O'Brien, who was the father of the stop motion special effects for films. Willis O'Brien did the original King Kong. He's the
Okay.
one who animated that.
Is that like the
Back
first
then-
big thing, like as far as effects,
Uh,
the special motion, stop
It
motion?
was, but before there was also stuff like The Lost World from it's a silent film, and they also had stop motion dinosaurs in that, which was also done by Willis O'Brien.
Oh, okay.
And he was back. He was there since the beginning of film, when Thomas Edison started copyrighting everything and suing everybody else. And
So
trying
they
to
filmed the
make a
train,
monopoly on his films.
and then
Yeah.
and then Willis O'Brien is like, trains are great, but have you ever filmed a dinosaur? And
That's the thing, right? There was stop motion, I think, was a thing when film even started because it was a frame by frame process, right? So
yeah.
one of the first movies that were produced in America anyway, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in America was with Thomas Edison, and it was doing a frame by frame stop motion test, like with cavemen and dinosaurs.
That's true.
And it was like stop motion cavemen and stuff like that. So it's, like stop motion is synonymous with the birth
Okay.
of film.
Well, I guess it's a logical step. They're like, you could do frame by frame. You can animate it. It's great. Do it.
Exactly. I think that's the whole thing. And also, so is 2D animation, right?
Yes.
So it's like drawing. Gertie the Dinosaur was one of the biggest 2D.
Dinosaurs, man. That's
breakthroughs.
What's
they're
that?
like, you never
Everyone
saw
loved
Gertie?
dinosaurs.
The little animated the first animated movie. It's pretty cool.
Possibly.
Yeah, Gertie the dinosaur was there was a 2D animated dinosaur, cartoon kind of dinosaur, and he was interacting with a guy on stage when they were going to watch this presentation. So someone was actually interacting with Gertie the dinosaur, who was a cartoon dinosaur, on the screen. And it was like, I think that's kind of the reference in Jurassic Park where John is talking to John.
No way.
I'm pretty sure.
It's like 2D.
Goodness,
It
look,
had to
Phil,
be.
this
It's like
is
a line
exactly
art.
the same style as in Jurassic Park.
As what? Yeah, there you go. See, I just was thinking about that right now.
He eats like a tree in that short.
Yeah, he does. Everyone should check that out. Gertie the Dinosaur. It's on YouTube, obviously. And that being said, Willis O'Brien was one of the first people who was actually involved in special effects. And back then, I wanted to get back to my point where back then when Ray Harryhausen was a little boy watching King Kong in cinemas and wanting to contact this special effects guy, it was not only fairly easy, but also these special effects people were actually just kind of like hidden from the public view. They didn't want people to know how the effects were done. So they actually, for King Kong at least, for the promotional stuff for King Kong 1933, they pretended that it was just they made up a bunch of stories about how the special effects
This
were
was the
done.
time of War of the Worlds, Orson Welles jinxing everybody.
Jinxing people. And so in
That was
1933, that was the thing. And that's how Willis O'Brien wasn't actually so well known. He wasn't like some kind of person that you could just look up and say, "Oh yeah, Willis O'Brien."
Every time you keep saying Willis O'Brien, I keep thinking Conan O'Brien, and I'm like, what is he doing?
Bruce Willis and Conan O'Brien just merged together.
Yeah, and so he got in touch with Willis O'Brien, young Ray Harryhausen, and Willis O'Brien told him, "Go to art school, learn how to draw, learn all the artistic skills you can, and I will make you my apprentice at some point." So he did that. He went to college. He studied sculpting, drawing, and he did test footage of models that he made. And eventually he became Willis O'Brien's apprentice, and they did Mighty Joe Young, which is like the third King Kong, because the second one was Son of Kong, which is very boring.
Wait, Mighty Joe Young is a King Kong thing?
That's new.
I thought it was
Mighty
like a
Joe Young
90s.
is an old. No, is an old film from like the early 40s.
What?
Or at least 1937.
That's
Yeah,
with,
Mighty Joe
with
Young.
the South African actress. What's her name?
That was the remake, man. With
her name is from
Scarlett Perron. What am I
Scarlett
saying?
Perron.
I remember
Scarlett
names.
Perron, the famous actress.
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. There you go. Yeah, it's a remake of the old original.
Wait, that's connected
Mighty Joe Young.
to King Kong?
Just very loosely.
Oh,
like
okay.
it's a giant gorilla, and it's not even that big. He's just like a.
He's like a small gorilla.
Yeah, he's a small gorilla.
Does
but
King
still
Kong
big
like come
compared
and
to
like, you're a
gorillas.
small gorilla? Go back to
No,
your...
because King Kong.
too small.
Tim, come on. King Kong dies in King Kong, right?
Oh, I
And then
never
in the
watched King
second
Kong.
movie-
Really?
Yeah, no.
Did I just ruin it for you?
No,
ruined
it's
it for
fine.
you.
I don't care.
Okay,
Like he dies. Yeah, he's like he falls and then the man says,
It's the most iconic, one of the most iconic
"Yeah, I know.
things in film.
It's like, yeah,
The planes, the tower.
yeah," and he's
King
like,
Kong
"It's
falling.
man who
Yeah,
killed."
Peter Jackson made it a whole emotional thing, where you look into his eyes.
Dude,
Yeah,
I think
he
we watched
really
like
did.
tried 5 times to watch that Peter Jackson King Kong.
Yeah.
Impossible to get through.
Tough one.
Yeah.
It's a long one. Mighty Joe Young was one of Ray Harryhausen's first things. And of course, after that, filmmakers wanted to work with whoever did the special effects stuff because that was becoming more popular. There you go. 1950s happened. Ray Harryhausen was working on his monsters, and there was like Creature from 10,000 Fathoms. There's like the Beast. No, that was the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. The Creature from. There's so many movies. So they're all really
Creature
different.
from the Bistro.
Creature from the Bistro. First Men on the Moon. There's It Came from Beneath the Sea with a giant octopus.
That's a good name.
I just know Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Then Came Hoopapan was another movie they did.
That's a good one. I like that one. With the manta rays.
Yeah.
20,
The Attack of
20
the
and then
Manta
see like
Rays.
there's the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, or was it 10,000 Fathoms? One of those fathoms. And then
Probably
there's
30,000.
Many
maybe it was
fathoms were
30,000.
had.
And then
the
there's another movie called 20 Million Miles to Earth, which had
Are you sure it's like 10 million miles?
Are you sure?
shut up.
Are you sure about that number?
I'm not sure about that. No, I know Frank's gonna tell me what's right and what's wrong here.
Okay, so it's called 10 million miles from this sea.
20 million miles to Earth.
10 millimeters.
Oh, okay.
So this is how Ray Harryhausen's career grew, and he just kept making these special effects for these films. And eventually him and Charles H. Schneer, who we talked about last time,
I forgot.
collabed
That
together. He's
sounds
this
like a
big
fake
producer.
name.
He was
Yeah.
he was this producer who did Jason and the Argonauts.
This producer already sounds fishy.
Yeah,
Did Jason and the Argonauts. They did that together.
It's all Rayhausen, just like making fake
So
names.
there's
So
a
Ray
connection
Harryhausen.
between this movie and the Argonauts, and you'll be proud of me that I know. the
Ah,
connection
cool,
is.
cool. We'll get there. So hopefully,
So usually when we do
Tomorrow.
movies, what I do is I write notes. So if back in the day when we used to go to the cinema, after the movie was done, I would sit down and write notes, like points I want to talk about. And if it was a movie watched home, I would write it as I'm watching it because one, I didn't want forget something that I had like a thought watching it. And secondly, I would make a list of things to talk about if we run into a ditch, we have nothing to talk about, I could pull something out. But unfortunately, what happens with that is that I'll have like 20 things to talk about, and then I'll keep yammering on through the podcast, and it just, turns into me talking. So I did something different this time. I did something revolutionary, something I haven't done on this podcast, not once. I haven't written a single note.
wonderful.
So, let's see how this goes.
Did you write any single notes?
In the history of the show,
Yeah.
I think that tells us everything. I think that's
yes, I did once when we came back. Remember, we did the Knights of the Round, freaking kids at the round table.
yeah.
I wrote some notes.
Cool.
Because I wanted to try out Notion.
Well, in any case, that's sort of how Ray Harryhausen.
Oh, and I wrote a
did
bunch
it.
of notes
And
for the
like
Office
episode. There you go. There you go. Anyway, Ray Harryhausen, tall man, very very soft spoken and humble. Did his own effects, did his own model making, and just animated most of it, all of it by himself. And if you watch some of his shows, if you watch some of his
This
films,
movie should have been a show, to be honest. It's way too long.
Yeah,
If it was a half an hour, it'd be
Okay.
great.
For sure.
Wow. Okay. Well,
That would have been perfect.
if you watch some of his movies and you see the animation, you can see a lot of his personality, like the personality he gives these creatures, which I feel like is definitely something that is missing from movies now, because I think just logically you're having a lot of people work on something very fast. They can't, like the artists can't like infuse the direction or the personality of a creature.
Are you talking about
that would
Kong
be
versus Godzilla?
Yeah, a little bit.
So do you know what one thing is great though is that these dinosaurs are way more mobile than that Hydra at the end of the Argonauts.
Oh
that was
yeah,
on the
yeah,
floor
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so anyway,
with the head.
just to cap this off, Ray Harryhausen
Okay,
did all
sorry.
that, and his influence was definitely a huge thing for all this visual effects people and filmmakers who made movies.
You'll be proud of me.
later
Probably
on.
Phil Tippett was influenced by him.
100%. I mean, like everyone was. Everyone was.
I know some stuff.
He was the Nerd King back in the day. There's an episode of what's that show called? Gravity Falls. That's how I know of Harryhausen. That like Cyclops creatures in there.
Really?
Yeah, because I think
Not really.
Mabel has a phobia of stop motion, so they have to
I
fight
remember that,
stop motion creatures. It's a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Also, Monsters Inc.
Great
We're
show.
going to Harryhausen's.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. He's everywhere. And he died in 2013. I remember that. And so he's
That's
been
true.
around
He
for
lived
a
a
while.
long
I
life
saw The Hobbit. And it was like,
And his last film,
and then died.
that he did before retiring was Clash of the Titans, which we'll watch next time.
wait, no, we're not watching the new one.
The old one.
No, are you
Okay,
kidding me?
okay.
Okay, I thought he was like a consultant.
Channing Tatum? Wait.
There's a video of him, like someone saying before the movie came out, they're planning on remaking Clash of the Titans, and Ray Harryhausen's like, oh, I hope not. So there you go.
I think he said like, why would they do that? I think
Yeah,
that was the quote.
why remake it? Why do that? I just don't understand. That's how he sounds, like Ray Harryhausen. He's I made the models in Valley of Gwangi. So Valley of Gwangi, let's go. Valley of Gwangi,
Gwali.
aka Gwali of Gwangi. Basically,
Valley of
cowboys versus dinosaurs.
And
Let's
a
get
little
to
horse.
it. So
Don't forget about
and
the
a
little
tiny
horse.
little horse. So let's
This
go.
movie takes about 80% of the film to set everything up.
Okay,
In the
let's
last
go
20
for it.
minutes,
I have some notes, and here's my notes. First of all,
if you watch Jurassic Park: Lost World, it's basically that movie in that order.
Yeah, but like super simplified.
No, it's the same thing. They go to this place. They're like, "Oh, let's get dinosaurs." We go to get dinosaurs.
But it's different though, Tim, because here, right, he's like, they find the little horse and they're like, well, the horse is important. But then they're like, what is this? Dinosaurs here.
That's
Whereas
true.
Lost World is more like,
they weren't looking for a little
dinos.
horse in Lost World.
Yeah.
But in the book of Jurassic Park, there's a tiny little elephant,
Tiny elephant.
which I was thinking about actually when it started, because they had a little bag with a little horse in it, and I was like thinking of the little elephant.
Me too.
yeah, I mean, look, these movies are something. So like,
Release the Spielberg
tell you-
cut with a little elephant.
little elephant with a little elephant. We need the Spielberg cut where John Hammond is walking around. Young John
Netflix
Hammond,
exclusive.
yeah, as played by what's his name? Who plays Hannibal in the TV show?
Skarsgård?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh.
Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah. He's just young John Hammond. You know, we
That's
can
not
make a
young
series
John
about it.
Hammond. Young John Hammond has to have a little
That's
gap
what everybody
between
would
his teeth.
cast him as. Oh, you're right.
Why is a
right.
gap in their teeth? I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Young Arnold Schwarzenegger playing young.
That's it.
Go back.
So
Next
look,
topic,
Valley
yeah.
of Gwangi. Okay, look, very simple story, and I'm
What
not
are your
going
notes?
to. I'm not going to do the synopsis thing. I'm just going to say you said the exact same thing. Cowboy times, cowboy times. Little horse. Professor goes, "This is an extinct horse," and woman
Hammond.
named TJ. She's like, "No, it's going to be for my show. You know, I need, because I'm a star in a show, and I do like stunts with horses, and everyone loves it in the middle of the desert."
What if the horses were tiny?
And what if the horse was tiny and it would dance on the big horse? That's what I'm here for. And then we have main character cowboy. Guys, did you recognize this actor?
Absolutely.
No.
Yes!
100%.
Who is this actor?
The actor that played in Beneath the Planet of the
Yes!
Apes.
James Franciscus.
I don't know.
I don't know. Tim, have you not seen Beneath the Planet of the Apes? I guess you would.
I have a. I'll get
Look,
into
I just real quick,
that
real
later. Go ahead.
real quick. Cowboy lead man is like, well, we can do that, but Professor wants to find more of where that horse came from, because Professor, in his theory of the humanoids, wants to find out where this small horse came from, because they kidnapped that horse, right, from some valley. What valley? Well, they go there, and so there's like two teams, just like in Lost World, actually.
Told
who
you.
are competing in that valley to get it for different reasons, right? And then they discover there's a giant purple T-Rex ravaging the town. I mean, the valley, not the town. He'll do that later. They
Just like
capture-
Lost World.
His own valley.
yeah,
Valley of Gwangi.
just like Lost. You're right, just like Lost World. And then they capture it and they bring it back to become this,
Screw the tiny
Anyway,
horse.
and as you know,
T-Rex dancing
forget
on
the
a
tiny
horse.
We got a T-Rex. We got a purple T-Rex. And I mean, as you can probably guess, things go bad and man learns about his hubris. The end.
No, then the end is Zoo Tycoon.
Yes, exactly.
That's the
This
end.
is just
We're gonna have to get into that. So there you go. There's the synopsis. Valley of Gwangi.
yeah.
What do you want to say about Valley of Gwangi? There's an old hag in it. I thought Tim would love that. The old hag warning and being like, "You must not disturb the Valley of Gwangi."
I have like 3 thoughts about this movie, but Tim, go first.
No, I want to say it's funny to me, like watching these movies, especially after the one we watched. It's funny watching blockbusters of the era, and it's like a continuation
Yes.
of what you.
So true.
It's like when you watch movies that you never saw, right? So there were movies released before you are, and then you didn't see it when it came out, so it wasn't like contemporary, culturally relevant at the time, nor did you see it as a child, which you're more susceptible to accepting things. So if you maybe saw a movie from the 50s when you're like 5, you kind of everything's
Buy
new
into
to you.
it?
So you might have a nostalgic feeling to it. Like, and I know you guys hate me for this, or not hate me, but make fun of me because of it. I never watched Star Wars as a child, so even the original trilogy, maybe besides Empire, it's just cheesy. Like, I'm not like watching it as watching it like a movie or a story. I'm watching it as like a cultural artifact.
Time
That's
capsule.
just so
Yeah,
bizarre.
As a cultured man from the future,
You know,
looking down at the
like, and there's definitely movies
primitive.
of the era, like, what was it, 12 Angry Men, or you watch like a Hitchcock movie, and it feels all of a sudden all of that is gone. The contemporary, whatever culture, society is gone, and you're actually watching a movie, and it feels like you're watching a new movie. This is definitely it. You're completely out of it. I had trouble after like they get into the land of desert and there's just no horses and there's like a purple dinosaur terrorizing them. My brain switched off. But until that point, like just the romance, how strange it is, and like just how that movie's put together. It's just a town somewhere. I don't know where. There's a Valley of Gwangi and Ganja, and they're just like chilling. And there's a little
Valley of Gandhi. It's a different film.
yeah. So
the Valley of Gwangi.
it's bizarre watching a movie like this.
I agree, Tim. I wanted to say that I actually had similar thoughts watching this because, like you said, we have blockbusters, right, these days. And I'm just so bored with all those blockbusters. But now make it even more boring. A blockbuster from the 60s where you're just like watching this stuff happen on the screen. It's like action. It's supposed to be like, wily adventure and stuff. And I'm just sitting there and being like, what is going on? Can we just like get to something?
Yeah, it's like.
But isn't there something like there? I mean, it's definitely.
But it's the whole movie is
era.
80% build up to a battle between two dinosaurs.
But it's like
No, it's not.
But it's like
the payoff at the end was the dinosaur wrecking all the.
yeah, but that's the
the entire
spectacle,
town.
and if
Yeah, exactly.
in the spectacle of that, like when you encapsulate it for that era, it must have been amazing. Seeing
Must have been
like
pretty
you've
good.
never seen a dinosaur wreck a city before like that. That must have been like revolutionary.
Like, let's go to the cinema, watch this movie. What happens? Oh, there's a dinosaur wrecks a whole city. Ooh, cool. And then you go watch it.
You can never watch it as experiencing. You're always watching it from like, this observation. Like you couldn't get into it. It's obviously an animatronic puppet unless the story, the human story is at such a level that it grips you. So you kind of forgive the animatronic. But when the story is so
Yeah,
basic, it's
exactly.
like there's no entry point. Like unless you're like a really big fan of the animatronics, you're like, look
really-
at that frame there,
Yeah.
like this, like the fur on the little horse is moving. It's great, but it's like, but your brain just shuts off after half an hour of it.
And then also like the ending where it's just like everything just like engulfed in flames all of a sudden. It's like, that's the spectacle. It's like he throws like this little flaming ball and just whoom. But yeah, I totally agree.
awesome.
Well, I don't know.
Because
Like
I think if you look at the movie, there's like 3 or 2 key like markers, right? And that's pretty much it. The rest is just like, it has to flow. The blockbuster has to go.
I mean, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna start defending, like the hidden depth underneath, the main character whose name I don't remember, James Franciscus, and his motivations, and
I remember his
you
name,
know.
Tuck.
Oh, Tuck. And what's the lady's name?
TJ.
TJ and Tuck. And Jason. Best friends.
Jason's still there. Imagine
Jason.
Jason was just stuck in the Valley of Gwangi.
But it's funny because like Jason and the Argonauts, like somehow when you look at that, it feels more of like a, sort of like a classic. You don't know how to like, you can kind of just feel the, different approach for that movie. I'm not saying Jason and the Argonauts is a great movie in my opinion, but like when you look at the two of them, this is clearly like a blockbuster at the time and Jason's kind of like a little better.
Well, it's based on like, because I think
little
that
better.
Jason has like a story. You don't know where it's going or how it's going to end. This one, you're like, I mean, obviously you don't know for sure if they're going to bring the dinosaur back. Like that's not a story, beat that unless you know about it, you would pick up. But as soon as that starts happening, you're like, oh, I know where this is heading. And you're just like, okay.
yeah.
Like when I was a kid, when I saw Lost World, and then there's a T-Rex looking through the window like that that made an impact on me. Maybe if I saw Valley of
Right.
Gwangi first, maybe that would have made an impact on me. But
Well, in my opinion, I don't know. I was watching this, and I mean, of course, I'm gonna have to agree. Like, it is difficult to get into like what the story is because it's fairly simplistic, and I feel like to quote someone stylistically, it's probably designed to be that way. But for me, like, I think the underpinning, like the ideas, like the set pieces, the visuals to me were inspiring. I liked watching it. I liked seeing where it was going and what filmmakers of that era wanted to put into the story that they were telling, despite it being really basic, but there was something with these old movies that always inspire me to think about all the loose ends that they don't necessarily get into any detail on.
They're mega sloppy.
Give us some examples.
Yeah, they don't care.
Some examples are like what I've been thinking of when I was watching this movie was the idea that there's like two different, like there's people whose motivations are now driven by, you could say, greed, but it's not. It's it's not it's not like someone's like he's looking at a coin and going, I must get more of this. There's always
the
it's
businessman,
because
right?
of that. Yeah, there's that, but it's not specific, and so but they still have a motivation to go to that valley and to see these dinosaurs and to tread carefully into the unknown and risk their lives for something that is a little more nebulous than you think it is, that it's specifically saying it is. But that makes me start wondering about, like, if maybe there's different reasons for them doing this, and then like there's like when you want to, like, you're just thinking if there was a remake of this and you want to flesh it out, and there's like so much that potential to think about. That's how I always look at it. I always feel like, wow. And then like seeing the ideas that they put in, like the big purple dinosaur, and then there's like the pteranodon. Remember the pteranodon? What did you think of that? Because they also had like practical.
Who is the pteranodon?
Sounds. Is that the bird?
Yeah,
one?
the bird.
Oh, the bird. The guy, he's
snapping his neck. So annoying. But the sounds were like, and it kept going. And I was like,
it was a bit
just stop.
Birdemic a little bit.
Yeah.
But Phil, like that's funny. Like looking at that and seeing how the cliches evolved, especially if you're talking about this, like the greed element, and specifically naming Kong versus Godzilla. It's like in this new spoilers, but this new movie, there's obviously, like, when there's a bad, it's obviously a tech business guy who wants to.
I hate it.
He has lots of money and he wants to be like control the world. Like that's such a cliche of last like 30 years. That's hilarious, and it's so funny compared.
But Valley of Gwangi didn't have that.
No, they're just it's so entry level. They're like. There's no businessman. There's no twirling mustache that comes in, even though twirling mustache comes from this era, but it doesn't matter. There's no businessman who runs this, and he's like wants to greedy. It's like the whatever her father figure. I don't know if it was her actual father or it's just a father figure. And TJ, they're just like, we got to make more money, and this horse will save. It's so like normal level.
But it's not so specific. It was a little more nebulous, and that's what made it feel like there's a. And okay, I am probably reading more into it than it was intended, but like that makes it feel like you are kind of thinking about, is this right what they're doing? But they're also sympathetic in a way. They're not twirling their mustaches and going, "We gotta get more of those dinosaurs,"
But it doesn't completely doesn't consider that, like, the animals that, like, it's so on another level. It's like right now you would have an environmental or some kind of underlying to it. It's so like 20th century. It's like, well, of course we're gonna use those animals. Like there's at one point nobody's like, well, what about these deers? It's of course we're gonna use them in the circus. Look at them, they're weird.
Yeah, but wasn't Gwangi also the dinosaur? Wasn't Gwangi also like, he wasn't put into like a light where they're ready to kill him at the end,
That's true.
So it's so interesting that you're talking about these things, because for me it's like I don't at all want to see the movie like this. For me, the movie is just like I said before, it's like we have this very, very basic story setup, and then I realize that the whole setup is just for that action sequence at the end with the dinos. That's honestly what I think the whole movie is.
I'm just going off of what Phil said, honestly, because I have to be honest. As soon as they captured the T-Rex, like, my brain was off. I don't even remember what happens afterwards. It's just because yeah.
like I was listening to the conversations and stuff, and it's like I remember for me the key conversations where it's like he was wanting to like you said, make some cash, but he wasn't like a bad guy, and then he was trying to talk to TJ and try to get back with her, but then she had her ideas of also, you know, fame and fortune. And then he's like, let's go to Wyoming. And she's like, okay. Oh, and then they're stuck in the whole, you know, valley. And everyone's like, oh, we have to get out of here. And then it's like the story's about them getting out of the valley, right? That's like the whole plot. It's like, we got to leave. So I don't know. For me, I don't know.
I don't remember.
And then they take the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also very King Kong as well. It's just
It's the man is the evilest of animals. He kills the T-Rex. But here's the thing. You know what would help with this movie? And sorry to diverge from the theme. I think the one when they were going into the valley, they find this little cave, and they're like, it's a whole valley inside here. I was thinking of Tomb Raider 1, wherein, you know, where you find this hidden valley inside. I think it's
Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yeah, you find this hidden valley, and there's like that T-Rexes in there.
The ranch in Wyoming.
And I like because that one is in, you know, it's like in snowy, I think it's in the Andes, I think, if I remember the first one. And then the valleys inside, and it's like a kind of like, you know, rainforest, kind of tropical inside where dinosaurs live. I think the problem with this was they go into the valley and it looks exactly the same as the other valley. It's just desert. It's like, and
It's the same.
And I understand like the effects of the stop motion of the creatures was amazing. If they just invested in maybe some backdrops or some kind of scenery, and this is, at this point, it's a cliche, you know, when they go into a sequel, again, I'm going to talk about Godzilla, they go into the middle of the world, it's a scenery change, it's a different world. It's just such a letdown when they go, and it's realistic, to be honest, but they go, okay, Hidden Valley, and they come out and it looks exactly the same as the Unhidden Valley. And you're like, okay, I have to,
the Unhidden Valley.
I have to look at desert and horses again because,
I'm sorry about the horses.
It's okay.
So speaking of King Kong, you know that this was actually a draft written by Willis O'Brien, who did the effects for King Kong. But he wasn't involved because he died before the movie was made.
Oh no.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm not saying he's a good screenwriter, but just there's a curious connection there, making it very simple and connected. Whatever I'm talking about, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I like the purple dinosaur,
Barney.
Barney. Jacob, what do you think about the purple dinosaur?
Honestly, I had enough of that dinosaur. When it came in, I was like, fine, you know, do your thing or whatever. But then the whole ending was about the purple dinosaur. And it was just like, what was happening?
Remember the
there?
elephant?
What about the elephant?
And then the battle with the freaking Stegosaurus or whatever. It took ages. It took ages. And everyone's watching them and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, they're battling. And it's like, you know, the old monster movie, like King Kong versus Godzilla stuff, right? It's like, what if we put these two dinosaurs and they battle each other? And it's like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, but Gwangi fights an elephant. That sounds like a man.
It's true.
I didn't realize.
Half of these sound effects sound like people, by the way. Even the dinosaurs. It's like an animal sound, like 2 out of 3, and then there's a man going. It's great.
So, you know, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just like, and plus, I have to say that, for instance, you know, okay, you know, we're used to watching, for instance, you know, we grew up at the cusp when CGI started becoming prevalent and everyone was reimagining how to do monsters and, you know, taking consideration like, you know, angles that are effective and weight and, you know, size and, you know, building things up and, you know, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But back then, I noticed something interesting that like they didn't have that same perspective. It was the perspective was just like they were animating these creatures, and there was always this, you know, like wide shot. Like I noticed there was never like shots of like, you know, POV or like something to create
there
scale.
were some POVs. But you're
okay,
right.
well, maybe I forgot. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there was like a sense of like this scale or like
that picture.
Snapping that guy's neck. He was snapping it for like 5 minutes. It was amazing.
Yeah. Tim sent us a screenshot of like the cowboy snapping the pterodactyl's neck.
And so it's difficult to like be, you know, I was even trying to think of myself, like, what if I was someone watching this at the time when it came out? it was a little hard to see how this would be like. I don't want to say like impressive in the sense of like, oh my goodness, these are big creatures. I really couldn't get out of like the zone of thinking like these are small creatures. There's this small lizard running around, really fastly animated, going, and stuff like that. They did a couple of good jobs though. For instance, where the people are like jumping away, like, and they're kind of interacting with some of them. But at the end of the day, really, because of the limitations is that there's always a person, far away from the dinosaur, like, squabbling and going, and then jumps away. That's the majority of the shots are that. So,
I know.
Well, Phil, it's my question.
Yeah.
When this stuff was coming out, when Ray Harryhausen was the king of these things, was it like, oh, this is amazing effects? Like, how did they do that? It's so good. Or was it like, oh my God, this little horse is real?
Good question.
No idea, man.
Would people actually like tricked by this, or everyone was just like, good crap?
I have same question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I saw a purple dinosaur.
If the sensation would have been the same for the average moviegoer at the time, would they be like, wow, like that was amazing, these dinosaurs battling and destroying things? Or would it be like, oh, it was okay, they did the effects okay, but
I don't know, but I do know that for King Kong, that was
King Kong.
Oh yeah, that was before people saw in black and white.
Some people thought
time,
it was, but like there was one person like who said that, like a critic who reviewed King Kong in 1933, who said the animation, like King Kong is so real that his fur is moving, and it's like, and it was the fur of the animator's fingers that were holding it because they had to change the.
So it wasn't intentional.
And it wasn't intentional, and it's funny. So I don't know that if that gives you a clue of something. Hey, that's cool. That's a nice like. Is it like a redone concept art idea?
Yeah, like dinosaurs versus cowboys. It's not a bad concept. I wouldn't mind it.
It's a good idea.
But you see what I'm saying though, in terms of like the spectacle aspect is that, like I said, obviously Ray Harryhausen was a very talented man, and obviously his effects were great in terms of what he was trying to do and what he was doing. But I'm just trying to look at it from the perspective of a moviegoer at that time, and now as a moviegoer in modern times, where there's been
where Philip forces you to watch something for a podcast.
And so that's the point. I don't know. Like I just really can't. I can't see what was so. Like it didn't feel like very threatening. Like as a viewer, as like a moviegoer watching it.
I mean, that's okay. Like when you watch stuff, like we said at the beginning, it's sometimes you can watch something and just be an observer of what it is. It doesn't have to take you in. Yeah. But I think maybe just as this one, I was just like, I was really getting tired of like desert and dinosaurs. The first half was fun. There's like the scientists, and they're like all these schemes, and there's this weird romance where they're like fighting, and all of a sudden they're kissing, and stuff's happening, and there's like Carlos, and then there's a little boy with a donkey.
That little boy.
It's good fun, and then there's just a bunch of horses in desert. Too much wide shots in the second half.
Didn't you get bored though? For instance, like what Phil was talking about, it's like he's thinking about the depths and where the stories could have gone. I mean, don't you get bored of like seeing these characters just spout out the like it's basically the same dialogue like today? It's just a different vernacular. It's like, oh no, what? How dare you, put this animal for a show? What will the Institute say about this? And it's like you've seen this a billion times. Like, wasn't that boring for you? Like, just
at that point, I was kind of zoned out.
60s vernacular.
I have to say,
just saying the same thing, and they're just like, let's do this. This guy says, let's do that, and then like I'm just saying, there were no characters in a sense. It was just. Like, didn't you get bored by that or no?
I have to say, like halfway through, I was zoned out. I was like watching it, but I don't remember anything that happens, to be honest.
Because like when you said like it's good fun at the beginning, it's like I would agree if it's good fun if it like the characters were interesting and it was fun.
there's a scene where like the little boy goes to play with a bull and then Carlos saves him, but nothing really comes of that, does it? I don't know. It just happens.
I thought it was gonna be a feud between Carlos and our main character. Like,
oh yeah, that's
Carlos.
Right.
And she's like, no, I don't love Carlos.
Yeah, like a love triangle. Carlos and Nikki. What is his name? Nick.
Yeah.
Jason. What is his name?
Tuck. Ted.
Tuck. Tuck.
He's got a spiffy outfit. It was
cool, right? The cool outfit.
I mean, many of them. I thought he was like he was a businessman.
Did you guys figure out what was his occupation?
As a businessman.
I never figured out. Just like a businessman, a business venturer.
Yeah. He said he traded cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Maybe he has like some connections to the aliens.
Like Gwangi coins.
So I zoned out for the second half.
That's what I'm going to do. That's my cryptocurrency. I'm going to make a Gwangi coin.
Yeah, purple dinosaur. So let me ask you guys, since you guys maybe watched this a little bit more, paying attention than I did, is there any explanation of what this Valley of Gwangi actually is? Like what, like evolution remain there? How do these horses and dinosaurs all?
I didn't find out either.
Chill there, like when the dinosaurs eat the little horses.
Valley.
Because there's like a couple of million years between little horses and dinosaurs. To be honest, I'm just wondering, did they ever explain this, or it's just no? Yeah, Phil,
you asking me? I don't know.
You're the host.
This is just like the Lost World. You know how the Lost World is, right? Not the Jurassic Park movie, but the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah,
Lost
but is it tiny? Is it like mammals, extinct mammals, and dinosaurs, or it's just dinosaurs in the Lost World?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I think that in Lost World, the book, there are like a primitive form of humanoids existing in that island. Maybe there are also extinct mammals. It's a hodgepodge, Back then, no one cared.
They used to love that. They used to love dinosaurs and like primitive humans.
Because they were just discovered. Yeah, they were just discovered really recently, back in like the late 19th century.
They used to love them chilling out, dinosaurs and humans just like chilling.
But they did introduce some element of the old hag who's like, it's in a cursed valley. He's like,
nothing happened from that either.
Yeah, nothing happened from that. So I'm wondering, like, who knows?
It's true, but the hag knows.
I guess the curse was purple. Maybe he drank some elixir, from the enchanted fountain. You know what I'm talking about?
They're like their brothers, and they drank. And now they're cursed to be ancient beasts.
Exactly, live forever. And maybe he, like King Kong, sad story, living in the valley, and then they find him after 3 million years after all his friends got extinct from the meteor.
Well, I don't know. Like for me,
survived.
I don't know. For me, Valley of Gwangi, I could honestly, I think it's a movie that I could watch more often than once. But I guess
really?
I don't know. I have a different set of.
It's interesting, Phil. When you tell me about Gwangi years ago, you're like, I watched this movie, Gwangi. You're like, it's an interesting film. Gotta say, I really expected something totally different. I was thinking like a hidden, like a gem from like the 60s that's like sophisticated and like
I thought it was
amazingly
a hidden
complex
gem.
dialogue and like, these storylines. And then it's like, wow, like this is overlooked and it got buried, in history.
It kind of is.
That's what I thought.
I guess it's just a completely different point of view there.
Yeah,
that's okay. I mean, I'm just like being honest here. I was not like, like I said, at least Jason was like random stuff happened. This was just like,
This is
I agree.
I don't know, because like
how
this
many
seems
dinosaurs in total were there in this movie?
Okay, so there was like that,
the pterodactyl,
the Styracosaurus. So that's 3.
Right.
Then there is
it's like a tiny one.
You want to count the
eats,
small
right?
horse?
The small horse.
Tiny
horse is the
dinosaur. Yeah, we'll count it as a dinosaur. Why not?
Okay, 4.
5, because there's that small one that Gwangi eats.
Yeah, he just eats one.
Okay.
Which they reused the shot in Jurassic Park. There's 5 dinosaurs.
Tiny horse is cool though. I think it was the best animation. I like Tiny Horse.
Tiny horse? Well,
yeah,
it's animal, so maybe they understood.
Yeah, and as you said, the fur was moving because of the fingers.
Because the fingers, yeah. Well, I mean, look,
the finger fur technique.
I feel like there's a lot, because like basic movies like this that have ideas that I feel are interesting, and then, like I said, the story beats and the way that this is portrayed is very simplistic, and there has a lot of things that maybe unintentionally go nowhere. Like the curse. What's the curse? Like is the curse that the cathedral was destroyed and like.
Oh yeah, the T-Rex is in the church now. It's all coming back to me. Dude,
that was a cool. That was like
what is the T-Rex doing in the church? Is that supposed to be like?
Burner.
Is that as a metaphor of like?
Honestly, I was asking
the
myself
devil.
The same thing.
I don't know.
The curse.
But actually, it wasn't the T-Rex who burned down the church. It was Tuck, right? Because he threw the fireball.
He did it.
Like Mario, he got the fire flower.
But the T-Rex died in a burning church. How is that?
My favorite
That's amazing metaphor that has no meaning whatsoever.
I have the same question. I was like, what is happening? And my favorite part was where like he throws that little, whatever that thing's called, you know,
Torch?
what I'm talking about. Yeah, but it was like a little platter, you know, like flame.
Oh,
Platter
yeah,
of torches.
A platter of fire.
Flatter of fire. Yeah, that's what it is. And he threw it, and then I saw it, you know, the wooden fence thing started to catch so bad. And then everything was starting to be
fire.
engulfed in flames. And I was like, my goodness. I was like, this is Notre Dame.
Dog science. Dog science.
And Jim, could you explain why it's Zoo Tycoon at the end?
Oh, yeah. So, long time ago, we played Zoo Tycoon, and there was this dinosaur expansion that we bought. It was called like Dino something.
The
And then
dinosaur
they
expansion.
had dinosaurs, and we were so excited to test these dinosaurs that our great plan was that we created a bunch of dinosaurs in these pens, and we released them, and we went to bed, and we're like, we're gonna wake up tomorrow, and the whole, you know,
Yeah, we
who
let the
knows
game
what'll happen.
Yeah, Tim was here too because we did it at Tim's
Yeah,
place.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
wait for.
We let the game play while we took out all the fences in our zoo
Yes.
with all
Yeah.
the dinosaurs, and we let it go and do its own
Overnight.
thing while we went to overnight.
like 10
And we had
hours.
these ideas where we were talking about it, like what will happen? Maybe like they are creating their own civilization.
Yes.
We were like super interested in like, what's the computer going to do? And then my favorite part was we checked in the morning. It was the lamest thing ever. It was just like they destroyed a couple of buildings and they were running around.
And most of the people were still there for some reason.
Yeah. And we were like, we thought they were going to eat everybody. And the animation was amazing of those dinosaurs because it's like 3 frames. It was like donk, donk, donk.
Yeah, just running frame
running.
of 3 seconds,
Yeah.
and then they would get in the corner and they would still do the running animation even though
Yeah.
they're standing still.
This was
That's Zoo Tycoon.
3D. Wasn't that 2D still? But isometric?
Yeah, that was 2D.
So that's what I mean by the end of the movie. It's just like, you know, release him from the cage, and he goes, you know, when he taps a building, you know, it just turns to rubble like Age of Empires.
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Hey, there's a new Age of Empires coming out.
What?
Yeah.
New?
We should play that.
Yeah,
Is it gonna
we should
be-
check it out.
is-
It's also Xbox, so
it
I
for
guess that's
Mac?
good.
Ooh. Age of Empires, what is number?
We'll figure it
5? What is that number?
I don't know. You know how they do these days. They just call
Oh,
it Age
they'll
of
stop-
Empires
yeah.
now.
4. Wait, no. I'm sorry. This is again riveting
Is it
portion of the
cross-platform?
podcast. Oh no, my big
That's the question we need to answer.
I want to see. I'm looking.
Cross-platform.
Age of Empires 4 launches autumn 2021. I love how we just segued
Oh, it
all
is
the
4
way now.
Okay, yeah. The Tectonic Knights.
PC via Steam and Xbox Game Pass. Oh, it's okay. It's for
Okay,
PC.
well,
Is it crossplay?
PC, Xbox.
Look, if it's crossplay, yeah, we could play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You'll be the PC Master Race, and we'll be the Xbox.
as long as buildings crumble and the trebuchets
Yeah,
just
when we
like
touch
chill
them.
by themselves, and then we're
Oh, we
good.
had the trebuchets, the self-moving
Self-moving trebuchets and
The self-moving trebuchets, yeah.
the
Whoa.
peasants, and then let the peasants go.
And that was awesome. Converting everybody to your religion.
Convert
Good
a
times.
trebuchet to your religion.
Those are good times.
And an elephant too. Gotta get those inanimate
elephant.
objects.
Those are good. Just for posterity, just so you listeners know, we weren't necessarily amazing Age of Empires players,
No.
but we would have these marathons where one time we played a 6
And also, we were
hour
playing them
stretch.
15 years after it was released. To be honest,
That's right.
Yes, that too.
We did a 6-hour stretch where the 3 of us played against one super hard PC.
no. It was
We
3 of
beat
us
the
against
PC.
6 hard PCs.
You're kidding.
Remember, we
We were that good?
6?
No, wait. How many max was it? We,
Maybe
basically,
3.
I think max was
Maybe
6.
3v3.
So it was, 3v3. Yes, it was 3v3. So it was 3 of us
Can't be
against
6.
the hardest 3 PCs.
We beat the PC.
We did.
And the best part at the end, you know when you get that cool graph, you know, the business graph that shows you how you did? And it plays the music, goes dun 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 dun. It's so loud. Dun, 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 dun. And then you wait 3 minutes for the song to finish, and then it's just silence. But on that graph, we had that amazing where all our resources were depleted all the way to like, there was no hope. And then all of a sudden this spike and we just grow and we defeated the It was a great moment. I remember I'll always cherish.
It was a good moment. Hey,
it was
speaking,
great. We had a strategy and Phil was our farmer and he was to protect the lands and me and Jake were the offense.
With my tectonic knights.
Do you guys remember when Phil was doing so poorly in the game and then Phil looked over to his neighbor enemy and it's like he sees Tim just like plopping the farm patches like perfectly together to economically
I was treating
make
it
as
like
much
a
as
city
possible.
simulator.
You were designing
I want
it
my
so it looks
farm to look
realistic.
nice. He was like, where's the pathway? Where are the people going to walk? And it's like, this isn't a freaking designer game where you're making it like your own town. This is just like resources now.
Faster, better.
I know.
That was great. And
I learned
a thing or two,
I learned, and I was pretty good with my tectonic knights.
Tectonic Knights were awesome.
True. Well, what did you play with,
Oh, great.
Jake?
Remember?
Slow though.
Who
but
was your
powerful. I
faction?
think it was the Huns, maybe. No, I can't remember. Honestly.
Tim was the pink Vikings.
Tim, you should pull up
That's-
the list. I want to see who the people.
Oh
were.
yeah, okay. The last
I
thing
think I changed. I think I was a swap.
Wait, what did we play? Age of Empires 2, right?
2, yeah.
Yeah, two, not one.
Phil
We didn't
was
play one.
no.
I think I was like
the
the
Tectonics.
Britons.
Tim
No, I
the-
was
the
France,
pink
wasn't I?
Viking.
Vikings with the yeah.
I started as the Aztecs, but then I was like, no, these guys.
The Aztecs are visually
Aztecs
pleasing, but they
sucked, I
suck
think.
as far as
Yeah.
as thing.
Oh, guys, wasn't I?
I think I
one of
was.
the-
I think I was the Teutons. That's what I was. The Teutons.
could be. Do you guys remember the terrible feeling when you're playing and you just suddenly see dun, next?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The age, you reach the next age. It's like we're on age 1 and Tim's like on age 3.
Let's see.
He's like already.
Yeah.
He's already has
Yeah,
guns.
That jerk.
Aztecs,
Yeah.
Berbers, Britons, Bulgarians, Burmese. I think I played Byzantines a few times, didn't I?
I guess. Read off the
Celts,
list.
Chinese, Cumans, Ethiopians, Franks, Goths,
The Cumans.
Huns.
With the basils.
The Incas were there as well. Indians, Italians, Japanese, Khmer. Wait,
Japanese. I think I was Japanese. Maybe.
you had Khmer here? Oh my goodness.
Turning
Lithuanians,
Japanese,
Magyars, Malay, Malays, Mayans. Is this an extended list? I don't remember. Mongols.
Because like this is what I got. I got Britons, Celts, Franks, Goths, Teutons, Vikings, Byzantines, Persians.
sorry.
Turks, Chinese, Japanese.
I'm looking at the
Mongols.
definitive edition.
I think I was the
This is
Mongols.
like a remake of
Pretty
it.
sure.
Remember?
We are Mongols.
Yeah. You have Slavs
Yeah.
in here, dude. We should get.
I think you're looking at some kind of fan.
No. It's not
Yeah,
fan. They did a
that's right.
remake. It's called a definitive edition. It's on Xbox, dude. Look at this. They remade it.
Well, why are we?
Why are we playing this
this?
exact? Why are we recording a podcast and not playing this?
That's cool. Let's try it. Let's see if we can do something like that. I would love to do this again.
Oh, you played Mongols?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I remember those buildings.
Yeah. I played the Teutons.
The Teutons, ha ha ha, with their Teutonic knights strutting around like penguins with giant swords.
Anyway, this was Valley of Gwangi. Wonderful movie, in my opinion, but that's
It's a
just
great
me.
movie.
And if you want to fall asleep and be bored, yeah, I know. And
I have killed the whole.
Whole world!
And next time we're gonna conclude this with Clash of the Titans, which is Ray Harryhausen's last movie, and it was made in 1981.
So, Phil, of these 3 movies, what's the top pick for Phil
Top pick for me.
for the 3 movies you presented? Are going well.
Well, I think I started with Jason and the Argonauts being the coolest one, because that's the one that I've watched the most of, and it just has more interesting visuals.
It's true. There's a forest, and
Like
stuff.
set pieces. I love Valley of Gwangi for the ideas that it has and the visuals, even though I'm not talking necessarily about the cinematography. I'm just talking about like cowboys and dinosaurs and, trying to make a plausible idea out of it. That's what I kind of enjoy about it. And then Clash of the Titans is just like, swan song. It's like one of those last, hey, remember those old Sword and Sandals movies? Well, this is the last one. Let's watch it, and I think that one's going to be the most crazy And I don't want to, hype it up, but yeah, it's a little bit crazy.
It's okay. You can go ahead.
You can hype it. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've seen the remake, the dreadful remake. I've never seen the original. So.
Yeah, it sucks, and I hate it. I hate it so much that I made a dub over of it, and instead of it being like an actual making fun of the voices dub over back in 2009, I was just complaining. It was just my
There's no
soapbox for
voice
complaining
acting.
about it.
It's just a commentary track of Phil going.
It just it devolves into me just being angry at the remake. And speaking of which, just wanted to get this at the end because I don't know when I'll talk about it again. Tim, I watched Kong versus Godzilla and I hated it.
Oh, good.
No, I didn't hate it.
Oh, okay.
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed with it.
I had low expectations.
Very disappointed.
Based on the last movie that came out, it wasn't really in the spirit of that first one that came out that I liked, the Walter White one. And so I had really low expectations, even based on the trailer, and yet I was still disappointed.
Yeah.
So
I was disappointed just because like I'm coming from the angle of these characters didn't fight each other for 70 years, and if you're gonna do that, the first Godzilla 2014 did a much better job with amping up the build up.
Oh.
The dread.
I love this. But how?
Like this, the first 2014 Godzilla compared to the next two did a much better job, at least with the direction that I wished these next ones would have been like.
I saw the poster and I was already done.
So.
But
No,
it's like,
all you need to watch is that
for
poster.
me, it's like it's Kong versus Zilla. It's like that like for me, like I'm just speaking personally. I don't expect anybody else to be like this excited, but like. There's Godzilla, there's King Kong. King Kong is a 90-year-old, property, been here forever, cinematic legend. Godzilla is equally as legendary, produced by Legendary. And they're coming together and fighting. Take it seriously. That's what I feel. I feel like just for the sake of the legacy of these characters, you just make it the best you can be. And I was just
as
so
someone who doesn't,
it just felt like.
As someone who doesn't care about the legacy of this, I could feel somebody who does care about it. Like finally, we have CGI, we have all the technical possibilities. You can get any writer, any director for this, and for this, exactly what you're. I could picture in my head somebody being a fan of that. Like, yes, it's our final moment to get this out, and it's the lowest effort. And you know what's crazy to me? I was looking online, people love it.
Yeah. I don't know what they're talking about.
I hated the human story.
They would love Valley of Gwangi then too. So
hey, don't badmouth Valley of Gwangi, buddy.
There was not a single redeeming fact. Like, I feel so bad like going on a podcast and talking about a big budget movie and how crappy it is. But it was bizarrely bad to me. This Guts. I don't know. Like,
so Tim. Yeah. Have you ever heard my amazing idea, which now is more relevant than ever? I truly believe there should be a movie that comes out, literally no story. It's just like two monsters battling for like
you mean like
hour.
A Zack Snyder movie?
It. Like there's no, not
oh,
even that.
dude, have you seen it? Have you seen
but
Justice
Emma
League,
has.
right?
Emma has. No, I popped it. I can't. Look, I used to be a really big a Zack Snyder apologist back in the day when he was releasing movies such as people shit on Zack Snyder because like it's too visual and it's like there's not enough substance and it's just like a long music video. And I saw, what was that movie called? Those girls, Sucker Punch. And I was like, you know what? It's meant to be that way. Sucker Punch is great. I think after what was it, the Man of Steel. Just the visual noise of his desaturated action, where the whole world is. I can't bring myself to it. Like I think halfway through Batman versus Superman, I gave up, and that was. I haven't seen Justice League, neither of the versions. I can't go there. It's bad. It's Gwangi again. It's just the desert and horses. Desert and horses.
You take that back.
No, it's not.
You take that back, Tim. Gwangi's better than this Justice League, Zack Snyder 4-hour long. I don't know.
My eyes are tired of too much fidelity of CGI. Just like,
well, that's why we watched Valley of Gwangi. Now your eyes are refreshed. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. I think we're here a little.
Too long, I'm in the too long zone in logic section here. We've been in a too long zone for 10 minutes
So-
now, but
It's okay. Just a little 10 minutes. Just wanted to pick that up with some stuff that we were watching really in brief.
I want to watch Godzilla again.
Jacob, anything else you want to say in your semifinal
Oh, let's get two more.
episode? Oh, yeah, your semifinal, your quasi-final.
Got nothing to
It's
say
Quasimodo.
except Gwangi. That's all I want to say.
Hashtag
That's what I want to
Gwangi.
say. Gwangi. I like it.
Hashtag
You can
release
kill
the
a
Gwangi.
pterodactyl by
Yeah.
wiping its neck. Just like you
Snap
would kill
at
a
its neck.
turkey.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, no.
Wait, really?
But they say that's a giant lizard. That's not a bird. And they're
Love
like,
is blind.
if you only knew.
Question. Do you know when Gwangi gets speared by our main character?
It sounded so
What
dirty.
came out of Gwangi's head? What came out of his
Gwangi's
head? Was it
Food
like
coloring.
was it blood? Was it like guts?
Food
What was
coloring.
it?
That's it.
It was
We're
very
done.
bright
Thank you.
and red.
Food.
It's a melon.
It's cherry.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm wrecking too now. I'm a wrecking ball.
I'm wrecking. I'm wrecking as well.
Good, you're wrecking.
I
You
reckon.
reckon.
How are you guys, by the way?
You reckon.
Doing all right. I feel weird.
It's all right.
Weird. Why?
Tomorrow's Monday.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel.
I'm so tired today. Like, I don't know. I'm just so tired.
I washed the car today, which is nice.
That's
Doesn't
nice.
look like a. It's not covered in bird shit.
Tim has a long history of bird shit in this podcast legacy.
I do.
Yeah, you talked about birds crapping on your balcony once for a long time.
That was a good one.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about that. That was terrible. Yeah.
Tim, are you gonna get?
No, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Are you gonna get the
Yeah, go
Gojira?
ahead.
I think I'm gonna get it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think
plugins.
I like those pedals.
Oh man, yeah. Because if you think about it, the value is like you get the octave one, you get the high pitch
Yes.
octave one. That's already amazing value, and then you have. Honestly, I didn't like the other ones that much, but that's just me.
I like the phaser and the chorus because they're very.
I like those.
Yeah, I like them because like the ones in Logic, the built-in ones, they're really good technically. Have a lot of saturation. They don't have a lot of character. So having these
yeah.
that have like some wonky character is nice to have in your like
Yes.
toolbox. You can slap it on there and it changes the sound quite a bit. So
I think maybe that fuzz kind of thing, that's pretty good too. I think it's very nasty.
I wish I had like a
But,
MIDI
yeah.
MIDI like a pedal or something like that, so you can then control those. You know that octaver because you can have that. Wow.
I mean, if you think about it, that's actually a pretty good investment to get one of those like pedals that you plug in. What is it? USB, I guess.
yeah, you could do USB.
And
I'm
you
pretty
just
sure
kind
those
of
are cheap.
Because the Core one has a wah pedal too, right?
Oh, so you
But-
could use that as well.
I can't use that because you have to use the fake wah. It's called auto wah. So that'd be cool.
Fake
I think I'll get it. I'm just a little bit sad that it is like it's cheap. Obviously, it's a really good bargain, but I always keep forgetting about that VAT that they put on.
They sneak
Yeah.
that in.
And
They sneak that in.
You know, it didn't used to be like that. It used to be like you just buy something and then no one knows. But because like if you count it now, it's
International
like,
law.
80. I think it's 80 euros, like 50% off altogether with the VAT, which is
Yeah, I'll have to think
but
about it.
still better than 150, right?
That's true. It's still 60.
I think I'm
60
gonna get
euros.
it and bite the bullet because I know that I'll probably use it, and the rest. By the way, I tried also some of the older ones. Seems like they got even better. Like I tried that Tosin Abasi one. Didn't sound amazing compared to the new ones. So,
though his tones are not the best, to be honest. Like they're very technical, clean. I like some gunk in mine.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Just
anyway,
sorry,
we need
Jacob.
to do a clap stick.
Oh,
Clap.
yeah. Clap stink.
Okay, ready?
I'm drinking Prosecco. I was watching Sumerians.
I have my rum.
ready?
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1.
What's Prosecco?
Italian sparkly wine.
White?
You wait. You live in Croatia and you have not been on the Prosecco train in summer?
No. What's that?
It's like it's been
The hell is that?
Well, it's an Italian thing, right? And Croatia is very Italian. And also it's been like a trend for
that's
last...
not true, though. Croatia isn't Italian. It's just Istra that has Italian influence.
I guess
the
the seaside, right? Yeah.
But
That's
not
true.
even Dalmatia is not like, it doesn't have Italian influence. It's just the north, the places you went to.
Okay, makes sense. But essentially, it's you like champagne, the French sparkly wine. So this is Italian prosecco, and it's been a trend for like last 3-4 years. You know the cocktail? Well, it's not a cocktail, but it's a cocktail made from that red alcohol. What the hell is it called?
Red alcohol wine.
No, it's like with oranges. In the summer, people are drinking them. What the hell is that called?
Rosé.
Something. I don't know.
Prosecco cocktail. This is a riveting conversation, but you have not seen people drink.
Maybe I have. I forgot.
Damn it! What is it called? Why am I blanking out? I
don't know.
I'm getting older, and my brain is not functioning. I'm worried I have like a parasite in me because I can't remember a single word.
Either.
It's ridiculous.
Have you ever
Anyway,
had this drink? There's this Croatian drink in Istra, only in Istra. It's called. Oh my goodness! See, now I don't know anything.
you see what I mean?
Like we're just saying, like, you know this thing? I remember.
Yeah. What is this thing? Red cocktail
I'm Googling my
summer.
drink too, honest.
Should I keep this in the podcast or not? That's the
I don't
question.
know. I don't know. I feel like this is the worst.
I'll just put this at the end. Just an extended ending.
It's been like in Bratislava here. It's been like a trend for the last 3 years. Like first it was just like the influencers, and now everywhere you go, and this is getting ridiculous that I can't find this stupid name of this drink.
I don't know mine either. I'm looking for it.
I just don't understand this. I don't know what that drink is. Bloody Mary? No, it's not. That's different.
So you have Prosecco, which is like white wine that's sparkly, right? You drink it cold. It's summer, you know. It's kind of like champagne, but it's not like for celebration. It's just like I drink my wine.
Ew.
And the other thing is like this Italian
Boiled wine.
Italian
Boiled
red
Okay.
liquor. Prosecco. Wait. What is it?
Prosecco.
Oh no! Wait, no. Still haven't found it.
I'm sorry, Tim. I'm not well versed in the ways of
This is
champagne.
This is dumb. This is really no. Don't put this in the podcast, Philip. This is
Okay,
Why?
I won't.
Put it in. Put everything in. My last 2 days.
I know. I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
I
Your last 2 days.
feel-
He doesn't care.
I feel like I'm losing my mind because I can't find the name of this stupid drink.
But real quick, Jacob,
Yeah.
don't you want to be here for the Amanda show one? Which I mean, the girl one.
Amanda
No,
show?
the Hillary Duff one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So 3 more. No, 2 more. That's
Yeah.
it. Well, this one, then
Yeah,
This one,
this
and then
one,
more.
then the next one, and then
Yeah.
one more. Yeah.
Of course, I'll be Phil Lizzie McGuire.
The hell? It's your episode. You have to be there. Okay. You know what? I can't find it. I can't. Red color. I'm doing it again. Italian cocktail summer. This is ridiculous. Aperol. There we go. Aperol.
I know what that is.
Took
Aperol
7
Spritz.
minutes.
Yes, took 7
Aperol.
minutes to find Aperol Spritz.
I think I've heard of that.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, so you have Prosecco, you have oranges, and you have Aperol, and you have ice, and that's it. Okay, I'll hook you guys
That's
up.
cool.
And it's everywhere now. And it's kind of bitter.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've actually had this.
Yeah, where?
Yes, I have. I know. Because we went to a restaurant and Paula ordered it and I tried it.
There you
That's
go.
cool.
It's like
Full
orange
circle.
based.
Content. 7 minutes of Googling
Okay.
We can
You want me
about
to
a
start?
drink.
Can we start?
Yeah, I'll start.